get that creator card out, and for those of you who missed me explaining this at the beginning, okay, the creator cards, you get the outer and then also the inner cut.
And why is that important, Sarah?
Right, so a creator card basically is like a cookie cutter. So it cuts in, if you imagine when you're cutting out cookies, it cuts in and you leave all the rest of the dough and it just cuts out the cookie out the middle, doesn't it? That's what we want here, right? So if you look at that creator card, if I take this off, no, I haven't even cleaned this one since I did my prep work on this and got this ready, right? So if you get the creator card, can you see like here and then here? Can you see it's not connected, it's not cutting around the edge. And what that does is that allows you to make cards like this where you can cut the big outer card as big as you want. Those are the areas that are staying connected, right? That's what we want it connected. Now, if you don't want it connected, all you do is use this die around the outside and then it'll cut the whole thing out as a topper. But I love it when they're really clever and you use them connected in. That's how you do things like your boxes and cut into the lid of the box, or the card that we did here where it's actually cut into and part of the card, which I always think it's that clever stuff that nobody else knows how you ever did it, right? All the non-card makers out there. So the creator cards are 5 by 7. Actually, they're all just a little bit smaller. They're designed to work on a 5 by 7 card. With this easel card here, I've gone a little bit bigger. It's by 3/4 of an inch. So I've gone 5 3/4 by 7 3/4. Now, I've actually made a tent fold card, right, with the fold on the top. So I started with A3 card at home, and I've already cut this down, so I didn't have any A3 card here. So what I've done is A3 tent fold cards that folds at the top, and then you use this die, Jo, to cut into the front panel. So I've actually done that on the other side. Can you see? So I've used this die. So it's let's have a look at the total length of this to start with. Was 15.5 inches cut at the halfway point, and it's by 5 3/4 inches wide. So 15.5 by 5 3/4. Score it in half. Use this die to cut that centre part out there, right? And then score this in half so that you end up with that fold up here, right? So that is kind of, if you look at it from the front, you'll see that is giving us the base of the easel card. Then you need to cut another piece of cardstock, which is going to be 5 3/4 by 7 3/4. And I'm going to use this, I'm going to pop this right in the middle and then send this through my die cutting machine, Jo. And what I want to show you is the bit that came out the middle, right, is this cross here. Now, if you were to do this in another colour, which I did for another project actually, and I kept the bit that came out of the middle, that means I can piece in just that one part there, which I think looks brilliant. And if you're wanting to piece that bit in, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? You're going to want to get a piece of acetate. Here I go again, like a broken record, but I all want you to have it. You're going to put a bit of acetate behind. So what I'm doing is, oh, that's right at the end there, is I'm just going right around the outside with the regular tape pen, all right? So around the outside with my straight line tape pen, all right? And then I'm getting the dotty one and coming in the middle with the dotty one. So you want loads of that dotty tape pen all the way around the centre like this, right? So once you've got all that dottiness, then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, right? So I just want all of that clear, and the acetate is going to go just over the back there and be really, really well stuck. Let's have a little look here, right? So can you see, just all the way over the back, that's really, really well stuck down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a little bit of our fine, the fine tip glue, Jo, so that I'm really is the tiniest little bit there. I think that might need a little bit more glue in there. But little bit of glue in the centre there. Once you've got that in the centre, then you're going to take that cross and piece that cross into the middle.
Do you know what might be lovely here as well, Sarah? Oh. Have you seen that technique where you mix, of course you've seen that technique, why am I asking you that? You've seen the technique, you know where you mix a little bit of ink with some of our tacky glue and you make it so it's like a gel and then you flood, yeah. You could flood the cross, couldn't you, in different colours?
What an idea, that would be
love
fabulous.
That.
I would love that. Right, watch. So if we bring this part here back in, Joe, when you're doing an easel card, you see, you would only stick this. So all I'm going to do is go round the outside here, those 3 pieces there, with the tape pen, right? And then I'm going to line this up exactly over that edge so that we get that perfectly lined up in there. But it's only stuck to the front half, right? So we've got that really well stuck down. Then what we're going to do, so that is how you create that easel card to start with. Now, this...
It's like an illusion card, isn't it?
Yeah, and you want that to have the illusion, right? And what you want, so I've got a little bit of that beautiful paper which is going to go on the base, and then you want to maintain the illusion that you're seeing through. So I wouldn't want to put white card behind it because it would take away the illusion. So what I've done is, I've just got a little bit of that craft card again, and I'm going to stick this inside that piece there.
Very clever.
Yep. So it did feel really clever when I did it. I was quite pleased with that. So I'm going to stick that on the inside jaw and put that whole thing together.
The cross would look awesome. A paper piece with gold or silver glitter card. Couldn't agree more.
Do you know,
really
I'm going
gorgeous.
to see if we can get them cards back up that we showed earlier that people had made with the cross ones.
Oh, yes.
Share some of our viewer ideas again, because that was wonderful. So can you see the last little stage of this card here, once I make sure that's not stuck, is... You see it's fallen down. Every time I stand it up, it's fallen down. So as with all easel cards, it needs a stopper. Now, here's the thing. Usually with an easel card, you kind of put the stopper around here. But I thought that looked a bit... Whereas if I put it here, it really showed that off and gave me area to write on here. So I've got a little stopper. I've used them that exact card that we talked about. So the special day, right? And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get the foam pads out.
I'm a backseat driver when it comes to the crafting world, basically. Yeah.
You're a great ideas man, though. We'll take that.
Maybe I need to take a Gemini or a MIDI home and just maybe have a go and a guillotine some cardstock. Have a bit of a play.
But look at this. I'm going to stand that up there. There, come on. Is that not loads easier than you thought it was going to be?
Oh, yeah.
When I showed you at the beginning, you thought, oh, I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, that's one of them really nice cards that's outside of my skill level that I'm going to watch Sara do, but I'm never going to be able to do myself. Hopefully, you are now thinking, I'm totally going to go make that this afternoon.